So let's talk about some Transformers Generations Selects Seacons Wave 2 hitting the scene and being shown to us here in full color now. I want to talk about this a little bit because there's been a lot of discussion about how we could go about this being done in a retail kind of thing, and there's been some heated arguments, but I'm going to get into that after we just do a nice little overlook here. So Takara Tomy Mall's website did a little reveal and showed us the full color images of both Lobclaw and Kraken. Lobclaw being known as Nautilator, and Kraken, which is Seawing. I love Seawing. He's a personal favorite of mine as a kid. These two are going to be the next pair of Seacons that are going to be given to us through the Takara Tomy Mall website, and they will be available for pre-order very soon, and they hope to ship February 2020. Now, you could get the pair together for about 8,200 yen, which is about $75 American, or you could order them individually at 4,100 yen, which is about, I don't know, like $37, $38 American. And, I mean, these guys look really good. They look really, really good. I'm very happy with how they turned out. This is an incredible... I mean, now that I see them in color, it's incredible how much retooling has gone into these guys to achieve what they... I mean, Lobclaw, Nautilator, like, that was like the blot mold. And considering considering what the blot mold was originally, what blot is as a character, as a whole, and as a silhouette, the fact that they were able to get Lobclaw out of this is spectacular. And the one that really makes me happy, and when you really look at the lineage of that mold, is that of Seawing or Kraken. I mean, Seawing comes from that Terracon Cutthroat mold. But, I mean, even that Terracon Cutthroat mold was a heavy retool from the Dinobot Swoop mold from Combiner Wars. So, like, it's crazy how far that mold has come and how much retooling has happened to make what we have today. And I'm really excited. I mean, it's one of these things where it's like if I could have had just one figure from the entire, like, King Poseidon, Piranacon team, I mean, I just would want Seawing. He just looks so cool. But, I mean, they just look really good. I'm very impressed how these guys turned out. And just seeing them in color now just makes me even more happy. I swear, I look at these and I'm like, oh, man, like, if BotCon still exists, the fun that could have been had with these molds in the secondary market afterwards for BotCon exclusives would have just been spectacular. Like, what the stuff that could have been done with this afterwards and the creativity. Now, again, like I said, pre-orders are actually going to be happening. Probably as you're hearing this, it's going to be happening. So if you're interested in that, definitely jump on it. Now, the discussion jumped in of people wanting to get these in retail because obviously there's a large contingency of the Transformer fandom that just isn't online buyers, as crazy as that is. And it's mostly probably due to age demographics and the availability of having a credit card and the ease of them just having the ability to go into, let's say, a Walmart and pick up product. And people were arguing on like, oh, like it should be available in retail and they should, have an entire wave dedicated to this. And we've discussed on the podcast in the past how Hasbro has talked about that sometimes they really don't like to do entire waves of something of a specific color type or theme because it kind of doesn't diversify the shelf. And they've talked about this, I mean, as early as like the days of when Classics was first starting in 2006, where they were just like, you know what, we didn't want to have, a tank Megatron and a tank, Bludgeon on the shelf at the same time because we just don't want two tanks in a wave, and they've done stuff like that. So I think it's the same thing here where the Seacons have a really unified kind of color scheme of blues, purples, pinks. And if they would have all been together on the shelf and the sea theme, it would be too much for them. But then you could argue, well, then Proto Man, why not just do it, in separate waves? And yeah, that's what they've done in the past with a lot of other combiners where it's, you get two in one wave, two in the next. But then you're asking a lot of wave allocations to just this crew. And again, look, me personally, I would like it if these guys were available in retail. It obviously would be cheaper for us. We'd save on shipping. But from a logical standpoint, I don't think it's in the cards. But to play devil's advocate here, I always say that, too, that the best way to sometimes figure out what Hasbro is up to, more than anything, especially when you're talking a corporate company, is all about the trademarking. And you're always able to tell kind of what is, down the stream, at least on the American side of things. Japan's a whole different animal. But on the American side of things and the stateside side of things, when it comes to trademarking. And trademarking is the cheat sheet, so to speak, of what's going to be coming. And when you look at, like, a good example, let's just isolate on my boy here, Seawing. 2007 movie comes out, does gangbusters, and then Hasbro, the light bulb goes off in their head. Oh my God, we really need to look at our IPs here. We got a legacy property that we really need to focus on now, because the movie is now mainstream and everything. And then in 2008, there was the Transformer Timelines Seacon set with Piranacon, and Seawing was re-trademarked again for 2008, and it was what was available through the Transformers Collector Club. And just like everything else, 2008, 2 to 3 years pass, and they're like, well, we got to refresh it again. And so Big Bad Toy Store got their exclusive again, a Seacon box set. Again, they pulled up that old G1 mold for the Collector Club. Might as well repaint it again, do it in the classic colors, although it was a little off the colors, just a little bit, for that Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. And then again, that was 2010. So what happens? 2 to 3 to 4 years later, you got to refresh that trademark again. That's what Creo was for. Creo practically saved the entire Combiner Wars trademark empire. Every single Combiner War character that we had of every Scramble City Combiner team, all those trademarks were rescued because of the microchanger assortment from Creo. And the Seacons were no different. And in 2013, Seawing had a Creo. And then, of course, they go, well, we got to refresh that trademark again because we want to use it in the future. And the year was 2017, and there wasn't any Seawing stuff, so they had to just reissue the microchanger stuff. They were appearing only at Walgreens in simple blind packs, and we had Seawing again. And they were part of Collection 3 Microchanger. And very little changes here and there, some silver paint schemes and plastic, but otherwise it was more or less the same toy in these little blind packs that didn't have codes on them. And that was 2017. And that was it. So 2018, 2019, 2020. So that means something's due. Something is due. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be getting the Seacons in 2019 anytime soon. But maybe late 2020, 2021, they're going to, like, I'm not saying legally, but business-wise, they're going to have to do something with that IP, with that name. Seawing, trademarked, registered, Hasbro, incorporated. So if I was a betting man, there's a possibility we might see these guys at some point in the future. The only other flip side of it is they take every single one of those. And that's the thing with combiners, is Hasbro, it's so much easier for them to do some kind of combiner team thing and trademark all of those names than to just do an individual. They learned their lesson in the past with Energon, where they were kind of jumping all over the place. It's like, hey, we got, like, here's the Superion Maximus team. And, it's like, okay, like, here's Stormjet and Air Razor, and like they were all over the place. It was a mess with their keeping the IPs back in that Energon era of even combiner teams, and they've fixed that again. Creo really saved combiner trademarks in a lot of ways, and I kind of see it now that if you're going to trademark a Seawing in 2019 or 2020 or 2021, you might as well do the whole crew and do it all in one shot. And like I said, if I was a betting man, that's when you're going to see all that stuff. So like I'm not saying like, don't pre-order this Takara Tomy Mall stuff. Like it's going to come in the next couple of years, but not saying that it's not a possibility either. Just Hasbro with the way they trademark stuff and then what they have to do with those trademarks in those 3-year windows. That's all I'm saying. So take from that what you will. But these guys are cool. I think they look great. I really like what's going on here. I don't know. It's something where, like in terms of where I'm putting my money in Transformers right now in 2019 and 2020 is in a lot of different areas. We got that big old Unicron masterpieces that have just came out as of this recording that are related to a truck Autobot leader. A lot of big spending going on, and it's something where it's like, do I have the extra budget on top of all the other stuff to put it towards some fishy combiners? I might. I'm almost tempted that if I go to a future TFCon and I see just Seawing on his own, or if I just see like maybe the pair, I might pick it up just for Seawing. I have this, I have like this weird thing with Transformers where like I really love Formula One Transformers, or like indie Formula One open wheeler Transformers like Mirage and Dragstrip, and I guess even you could say like Crashers kind of design in classics. I really like those kind of designs. Like there's certain alt modes that always kind of call to me, and I don't know, manta rays and stingrays, like depth charge and stuff. I always love that design. Just kind of cool. And so that's why I kind of lean towards Seawing. And I'm like, I'd like to get, maybe get Seawing. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, let me know what you think about these guys. I mean, like I said, the arguments that are going on right now about it, it should be in retail. If I was a betting man, I could see something in the future realistically. Like I said, don't even look at it from any other personal point of view. Just look at it from the business side and trademarking. And Hasbro's got to do something. It's very soon, because 2017 was the last trademark, and it's coming up. So that's my 2 cents.